we should be recording like now. All right, good. Anyway, hey guys. So I did the whole test with the mic, and apparently you can still hear my breathing. So this mic is actually very powerful. Um, anyway, let's get on to the deck profile. Enough wasting time. Here is my deck. This deck is being submitted into a contest for a character deck profile. However, the thing is though. This deck is actually, I had to put this in a weird position, but anyway, that's why the whole setup's like this. But anyway, this deck is actually my main deck that I use. So, I'm going to be entering this deck, my main deck, into this character contest. So the character in the anime that uses this deck is Serena. I don't think she has a last name. Fun fact, I don't actually like Serena. But I do like her monsters, and I do like her deck. So, anyway, on with the show. This is my main deck, hence why it's decked out. Get it in this deck box. Shout out to the person who made this leather deck box. I'll leave a link in the description because at the time of them making this deck box, they went out of their way to make the deck box for me. It wasn't simply on their site. So we're going to go ahead and open up the deck box. First I'm going to show the main deck, and then I'm going to go ahead and show the extra deck. And then I will actually explain all the cards. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to go ahead show you. I'm going to go do the deck profile. Then I'm going to go ahead show you a combo. Then I'll show a couple videos that I did today. I'll leave a link in the description. To a video I made using this deck for Sky Strikers, and again using this Moonlight deck. I don't refer to it as LunaLight. No, that's the sins of the Konami right there. Let me focus my camera on there. There we go. The sins of Konami right there. So let's go on with this deck profile. It's a 40 card deck. It is made to OTK up the ass. So first off we have my camera not focusing. There we go. I'm going to do this off camera. First we have 3 Moonlight Wolf. You can kind of see it, you kind of can't. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, I just took a screenshot. You know what, never mind. My mic's going to be picking up that sound because that's a notification. Anyway, that doesn't matter. 3 Moonlight Wolf. Wolf is basically a miracle fusion and gives piercing damage when face up on the field as a monster. Pendulum effect is basically a miracle fusion. That's how I'm going to do it, just to make this more streamlined and effective. So 3 Moonlight Wolf, 2 Crimson Fox. When she is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, so like you use her as a fusion material, you can target one monster your opponent controls, make that monster's attack become 0. On top of that, when she's in the graveyard and one of your Moonlight monsters get targeted by effect, I'm going to be using Moonlight, by the way, instead of Moonlight. You can banish her, and then both players gain 1,000 life points. This deck's made to OTK, so that 1,000 doesn't really matter. It would have to be one really intense duel for that to matter. Then 3 copies of Moonlight Cat. Cat special summons out a Moonlight monster when she is destroyed, period, so that by your effect or anything. Second of all, when she's special summoned, you can go ahead and double the attack of a Moonlight monster you control. Then the next 3 up is a Moonlight Kaleido-Chick. Kaleido-Chick is like Prisma. Send a monster from your extra deck or the main deck into the graveyard. I said like Prisma, not Prisma. Hence why her name is Kaleido, like a kaleidoscope. So it's Kaleido-Chick for that reason. It's because she could take on the name of different monsters. On top of that, when she's sent to the graveyard for that fusion, so when she's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can actually go ahead, target a polymerization, and add that to your hand. And when she's banished, that's when her fun effect comes out. When she's banished, for that battle phase of that turn that she's banished, your opponent cannot activate cards or their effects, meaning you could go ahead and, attack with all your big boss monsters as hard and fast and all that, and that's possible. Your opponent can't do anything. The next 2 of is going to be Moonlight Tiger. Only uses 2 of. By the way, I'll say this now. This is a pure Moonlight build. There is no other archetypal cards in this when it comes to monsters and whatever. Like it kind of is, but you'll see. But this is mainly a pure build. So this is 2 Moonlight Tigers. Moonlight Tiger is a mini monster reborn. When she is destroyed, her monster effect lets you summon out a monster from the grave, and then her pendulum effect lets you target one monster in the graveyard, summon it up. The effects are negated though, except for when it's destroyed. Like, not the pendulum effect, the monster effect. When it's destroyed through its pendulum effect, it does not negate. I'm sorry, it does negate. Oh man, I am messing this up. Anyway. The next 2 up is Moonlight Purple Butterfly, and I am actually running every single Moonlight monster in here. So yes, Purple Butterfly does have her applications. If not, you could use her as a target for a card that, let's say, it banishes. Anyway, Moonlight Purple Butterfly is a 2 of in this deck. It's only for the fact I couldn't fit 3 in here. The reason why there's a lot of 2 ofs is because I couldn't fit 3 in here and I had to cut down some because I didn't want this to be a functional deck with all Moonlight monsters in it. But her effect is basically giving 1,000 to your monster. Not a quick effect, by the way. You have to do that in phase 1. Her second effect is when she is in the graveyard, you could go ahead and banish her. Then you get a special summon 1 Moonlight monster from your hand. You could summon out a tiger, or you could go ahead and summon out a blue cat. The next card is 3 copies of Cancer, as my friend calls her, but I call her Moonlight White Rabbit. Pretty good. Some cards want to be destroyed, but she lets you return those to the hand. Kinda, I guess, for free. Kinda, not really for free. So she's a mini giant Trunade. On top of that, she is a junk synchron of the deck, because you normal summon her, summon out another monster. Here we go yes, here we go. I don't know what the fuck that meant, but Moonlight Black Sheep. 3 copies of Moonlight Black Sheep. Why 3 copies of White Rabbit is because White Rabbit has the effect of special summoning out. Funny enough, I don't actually see White Rabbit all that much, but when I do, it's nice. Anyway, 3 copies of Black Sheep. This is all for the monsters, by the way. It's 21 monsters. I'll do a recount. Actually, we'll see the whole deck. Uh-oh. Well, time to pause this video. Pause. Alright, I am back. Sorry, it was a phone call. I had to take it. Anyway, she searches out your polymerizations, and she can actually recover a Moonlight monster. So you send her from your hand into the graveyard, add a polymerization from your deck to your hand, or add a Moonlight monster. The next card here is, out of the spell cards, are my draw power, which is 3 Alert Darkness. You draw 2 cards, and then you banish 1 dark monster. Simple as that. That's why I said you could use, what was her, Purple Butterfly. Purple Butterfly, no, where are you? Yeah, there we go. Purple Butterfly as target, or Kaleido Check. Using Alert Darkness is an easy way to get Kaleido Check's effect off. Next, we run 2 polymerizations. It's polymerization, man. 3 Monster Reborns of the archetype, because the whole deck is this. And then you go ahead and discard a card. Banish this card from your graveyard, discard a card, add a Moonlight monster from your deck to your hand. The next fusion we have is actually Fusion Substitute, because there are times where you do have another fusion in your graveyard. You can banish this and then get 1 draw out of that. Banish this, return that fusion to the extra deck, and then get your draw card. Next is more Spell Trap card removal, because cards nowadays in the game want to be destroyed. This banishes while White Rabbit returns back to the hand, so there's no destruction involved. So yeah, sometimes if a card lands in the graveyard, your opponent can just go ahead and banish it to add something like the Invoked Fusion card. Gives you resources, but if you banish that, they can't. They don't get the resources back. Then 3 Fire Formation 10 keys. You can add 1 level 4 lower Beast Warrior from your deck into your hand. And then finally, for the trap cards, I am using 2 Moonlight Reincarnation Dance, because all the trap cards in here are meant for defense. So all the spells are meant for speed and power. Same with the monsters. The trap cards I'm going to show you, these two, just in case, I'll set one. You don't ever see these, but when you do, I'll say it's a sign for my deck to arm up and just be careful. Sometimes though you don't need to set this. Sometimes though I set these because why not. So yeah, with this, when a card is destroyed on your side of the field, actually, you know what? I'll read it right here. If a monster, when your camera doesn't focus, okay, camera, don't focus. That's 100% fine. If a monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, add up to 2 Moonlight monsters from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 Reincarnation Dance per turn. So that's why I did have 3, but still. Anyway, replace them. Whatever. Listen, that's pretty good because sometimes you do find yourself needing to add 2 from your deck to your hands. It's pretty cool. The next card is a really good card. It's Lost Wind. It negates the effects of monsters, and then it cuts that monster's attack in half. And the negation stays until that monster is, I think, flip face down or leaves the field. And then if your opponent summons out a monster from the extra deck, you could reset this card. This card only works on special summon monsters. I gotta make sure that is clear, because sometimes there are good normal summon monsters out there in the game, and you want to flip Lost Wind, but you can't, because it only works on special summon monsters. You can target your own monsters, by the way, so be careful with that. The last card is a super good card to stop any summoning, really. It's Solemn Warning, and it's the only one of card I have. I mean, sorry, limited card I have in this deck is Solemn Warning, just for the fact that it takes care of stuff. I guess you could add the Judgment if you want. Then again, this is what I found to work best, and I really like this. This is my main deck. This is my 10 out of 10 deck here. But as the game goes on, this may get a revamp. I am doing something with this deck in a series called something. I don't want to reveal too much of it. It's a bit of a puzzle. Anyway, so you will see this deck make a return, and it's powerful OTKs. Anyway, so the deck is structured around the dancers, by the way. Most people like to run Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. That is, in my eyes, wrong. Do not do that to the Moonlight. Let the Moonlight shine. So that's why I play 3 Leo Dancers. She is 10 out of 10. So in case you don't know what Leo Dancer does, she's a 3,500 attack monster who can attack twice. When she destroys a monster, she can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls, and then she cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Not then, but it's a continuous effect. So 3 Leo, because why not? You don't summon more than 1 Leo. You don't have to summon more than 1 Leo, but you could if you want to. 3 Panther Dancers, because you send her to the extra deck, but also she's Panther Dancer. So in case you don't know what Panther Dancer does, she is a 2,800 attack monster who can attack all monsters twice. And then when she destroys a monster, she goes up by the attack of 200 until the end of the battle phase. So yeah, and then she cannot be destroyed by my opponent's card effects. Then here we have the weak monster, but also a pretty good, nice wall. It's Moonlight Cat Dancer. I'm not going to say she's shit because she's not. She's a dancer. So 10 out of 10 with that. The Moonlight Cat Dancer is a 2,400 attack monster. All you need is 2 Moonlight monsters. To summon out Panther, you need a Cat and then a Moonlight monster. To summon out Leo, you need Panther and 2 Moonlight monsters. Anyway, she cannot be destroyed by battle. You have to tribute a Moonlight monster you control to activate her effect, and she can attack all monsters twice. They're not destroyed, so that's why she gets to attack again. And then on top of all that, every time she declares an attack, your opponent goes down 100. So the 100 builds up, of course. So that is it for the fusion monsters. Everything else, the rest of the monsters in this extra deck do in fact aid onto the play / dancers over here. So the first XC monster we have is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, Fire King. He gets out a Tenki, sets that Tenki, you flip that Tenki, when this card is destroyed. Some other stuff happens. It's not really important. That's why I'm not going to mention it. But you can detach material. They gain all effects that are not Beast Warrior on the field. Beast Warrior is kind of obscure archetype. I mean, obscure type of monster. So really, who the fuck's playing Beast Warriors? That's what Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King does. So yeah, your whole deck is a bunch of level 4 monsters. The other level 4 is Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer, because sometimes you run into those problematic cards where it's like, hey, you know what, it would be best if I just do this, and boom, he's a winged beast. So take note about this, because the next couple of monsters do. Yeah, this is actually the end of the XC monster. I made sure to link up my deck a whole bunch. But anyway, Castel, this Castel, he detached 2 materials. You either book a Moon a monster, you detach 1 material, you book a Moon a monster. You detach 2, and then you spin it away. I think that's how that works. I don't know. I only ever use it rarely, and then when I do, it is to spin it away. Next comes from Shonen Jump is Summon Sorceress. This card everybody hates, but this card is a very good card. She does not need to be banned, especially in this deck. Yeah, don't ban her. You know what? You could ban her for all the other decks, but this deck she's fine. She's not broke in this deck at all. But yeah, she enables a instant 7,000 attack Leo Dancer. So yeah, not broke. But yeah, she doesn't need to be hit on the ban list, guys. Come on. A Firefighting Daruma Doll, because he takes 2 Beast Warriors, Beast and or Winged Beast monsters. Also, he's a Daruma Doll who's a firefighting. But most importantly, this card gains 100 for each Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monster on the field. Once per turn, you can target 1 spell trap card on each field. Destroy them. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target 1 of your Beast Warrior, Beast, or Winged Beast monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Add to your hand. So yeah, he's a link too. Helps with the arrows and whatever. You know what Summon Sorceress does. She's been at top of the town. Proxy Dragon, because there's no good link to arrows that point that way and that way. So this card has a pretty cool effect with Moonlight Blue Cat. So let's say they attack into Proxy Dragon. You destroy your you destroy Blue Cat. Blue Cat comes back. So they technically can't destroy your monsters until they eradicate all your Blue Cats. The last card is a nice spellcasting waifu, and that is Witch's Apprentice. She gives a boost to your dark monsters, and then if she's destroyed, you get back a dark monster. For the link arrows, of course, again. So that is the deck profile. On to the replays starting now. Starting now. How do I stop this? Oh, here we go. So these are the replays. Originally, it was supposed to be replays, multiple replays. However, instead, I was only able to capture 1 failed duel in this replay. But please do note, in the description there will actually be a video of this deck in action. So as you can see here, I'm going on with the plays with a pretty good hand. He not only has destruction, but he also has 2 monster negation. Well, wait, 1 monster negation, which I think you're gonna see him do real soon right here. Yeah, he's gonna negate my monster effect, but that's all right because I could still get out my 7,000 Tech Leo. However, that happens, which I was not prepared for. So yeah, what ends up happening next is actually quite funny. But you're going to see that. Anyway, what I want you to explain real fast is that in the description there will actually be more replays with this deck in action. It's actually a very long video. And it is just me going ham with this deck. On with the second replay, which didn't actually have a conclusion, kinda. So this is it right here. I was able. It was a very long duel. It was a deck full of. It was a Dark Magician Ultrageist deck, a Ultra Black Magician deck, if you will. So I was able to actually summon out Leo with 7,000 attack, get off the effect of Kalio Chick that's in the graveyard, and before then I was able to go ahead and bounce back all his spawn trap cards on the field. Back to his hand. That's why he has a big hand. It was like turn 6, as you can see. Finally, a response. Maybe it was because the internet was bad and all that. But still, 7,000 Leo that was going to attack twice and end the duel. So yeah, 10 out of 10 on that.